Young, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from the Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Opportunity knocks, 577 and 575 Niagara Street. The former home of Buckminster's Cat Cafe is now on the market. With a storefront and a second-floor, three-bedroom residential unit, this beautiful circa 1880 building is a fabulous opportunity for someone looking to make their mark at 577 Niagara Street. Adding to the potential, the purchase includes the adjacent lot at 575 Niagara Street. There's also a significant courtyard to boot. From the listing, turnkey mixed-use gem. Exceptional opportunity to own a meticulously restored 1880s brick building at 577 Niagara Street. This award-winning property features a vibrant first-floor retail space, formerly a renowned cat cafe sanctuary, with high-end upgrades. The expansive second floor features 11-foot ceilings, gorgeous hardwoods, and massive windows perfectly suited for a premium professional office or a luxury residential conversion. Sale includes the adjacent lot at 575 Niagara, offering rare downtown parking or expansion potential. Prime west side location near D'Youville University with high visibility and foot traffic. Updates throughout include mechanicals, roof, and storefront. Ideal for an owner-user or savvy investor looking for a trophy property in a high-growth corridor. Leslie Odom Jr., The Room Where It Happens, is Kleinhans Music Hall this week. Tony and Grammy Award-winning artist Leslie Odom Jr. joins the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra on May 2, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. He brings his extraordinary voice and stage presence and genre-spanning artistry to Kleinhans Music Hall for an evening of music that is soulful, sophisticated, and deeply moving. Odom Jr.'s excitement for the concert with the BPO is palpable, and he shared that the opportunity is incredibly special. It is cost prohibitive for me to travel with 75 of the best musicians in the country, he said with a laugh. The only time I get to have an evening that is this grand and this elegant is when I get invitations like this from the Buffalo Phil. He performed in Buffalo in 2018 and is looking forward to returning. We're so excited to be back. We are so excited to show how we've grown. It's been almost 10 years. We're just so excited to come back and make music again. This concert features selections from the American Songbook, reimagined pop favorites, and beloved musical theater classics. It's really a dream come true, he said. I grew up listening to Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra. At a certain point, once my palate got a little more sophisticated, it was Ella Fitzgerald, and it was Nat, and it was Frank. And so, the set list just really reminds me of a kind of extravagance. When I get to perform evenings like this, it reminds me of a kind of extravagance that we used to shower on the arts and just what was possible in a different time. Odom Jr. was inspired by all of those classic artists and the work of soul singer Sam Cooke, whom he played in the Amazon film One Night in Miami, earning an Academy Award nomination, to create the set list. It's songs that have impacted me, he said. It's songs that have stayed with me. A lot of these songs I've been singing for years and years, adding, I just believe strongly that what comes from the heart reaches the heart. And so not only do the songs mean a lot to me, we've been playing them for a few years, and the charts are so gorgeous. The charts for the orchestra are so gorgeous. The role of Aaron Burr in the global smash Hamilton earned Odom Jr. a Tony Award, and he will be performing some of the songs from the show with the BPO. I always love singing the Hamilton songs. They mean a lot to me. They've come to mean a whole lot to millions of people, not just me, especially after the pandemic with the release on Disney+. And so I always love singing those songs. There are also a number of surprises in the show. Additionally, we've added these songs that have meant a lot to me from my childhood. The very first concert that I went to was Smashing Pumpkins and Garbage. We've added an arrangement of Tonight Tonight. We put it on the live album that I released last year, but we've added an orchestral arrangement to that song that really rocks. In a world that is becoming increasingly focused on technology and disconnection, Odom Jr. knows the importance of live performance and the humanities. We're talking about humans telling stories about what it means to be a human to other humans. And so that might not be important to everybody, but that's important to me. It has helped me heal. It has made me a better friend, a better partner, a better father. And so I hope that there's always little rooms, big rooms, rooms all over the world where the humanities still matter. They help us realize the beauty, the profundity, the spirituality, the richness of life, the fullness of life. I think that the humanities have been what have helped us understand some of the meaning of all of this. Odom Jr. hopes that his performance has a profound impact on Buffalo audiences. I hope that they feel closer, he said. I hope they feel closer to their neighbor. I hope they feel closer to the inspiration and the light within them. We hope to make a memory that'll last a lifetime. Trash mobs, beautification grants, kind fools, swing dancing, call for artists, and community canvases. Grassroots beautification projects are one of the most significant ways to bolstering our neighborhoods. Through community cleanup efforts and plantings, clean, flowery, tree-laden streets not only garner attention, they attract further investments. This past weekend, during a neighborhood cleanup, I met a community activist by the name of Hi Carol, who is the Director of Operations at Community Canvases and founding director of Kind Fools. Among countless other initiatives, Carol attends numerous community cleanups, rain or shine. Speaking to Carol, I was reminded how much one person can affect change in a neighborhood. Carol is one of those change makers. Through his work with Community Canvases, he helps to organize all sorts of interactive outings, functions, including swing dancing outings, trash mobs, signal box art projects, call for artists, and all sorts of other initiatives. Spring has sprung, which means it's time to get out and be proactive. Take a page of Carol's book and write your own script. Either way, it's important that we all get involved with community engagement undertakings in one form or another. If there's a block club in your neighborhood, consider joining. If there's not one, why not start one up? It's a great way to meet your neighbors, express your concerns, and get things done. Earlier this morning, I learned that Gardens Buffalo Niagara is awarding $39,695 in Lunenfeld beautification grants to 33 projects throughout Buffalo. This grant funding will go a long way towards strengthening neighborhoods through good old-fashioned gardening projects. Not only will city streets get a well-deserved infusion of love, neighbors will get a chance to come together to rally around their community gardens. Through the Lunenfeld Beautification Grant Program, we're excited to support these efforts to cultivate beauty, strengthen communities, and transform shared spaces into welcoming places for everyone, says Mara Montanti, GBN Beautification Grants Committee Chair. Here's a list of the 2026 Lunenfeld Beautification Grant awardees. Grants in the East Side Garden Walk footprint: Artspace Buffalo Community Garden, Buffalo Freedom Gardens, Buffalo United Front, Cole's House Project, Concordia Foundation, East Lovejoy Coalition of Neighbors Block Club, Floss Love Thy Neighbor Block Club, Hamlin Park Community and Taxpayers Association, Journey's End Refugee Services, Metropolitan United Methodist Church, Michigan Street African American Heritage Corridor, Minnesota Avenue Block Club, Muslim Society of Buffalo, Norfolk Avenue Block Club, Pelion Outdoor Classroom, Seneca Babcock Community Block Club, St. Adalbert Basilica, St. Stanislaus Parish, the Research Foundation for SUNY on behalf of the University at Buffalo, Whack God 2, Inc. Grants in the Garden Walk Buffalo footprint: Armory Hill Associates, Ashland Avenue Block Club First and Second Blocks, Claremont Community Block Club, Friends of Freedom Park, Helping Everyone Achieve Livelihood, Kleinhans Community Association, Parkside Community Association Saranac Block, Central Block Association, Westside Community Services, Westminster Garden Group. Other locations include Imagine Community Gardens, Northwest Buffalo Community Center, the West Woodside Avenue Block Club. Gardens Buffalo Niagara celebrates the creativity, dedication, and community spirit of this year's grant recipients and looks forward to seeing these projects grow throughout the season. Since 2004, the Lunenfeld Beautification Grant Program has awarded more than $200,000 to nearly 300 community groups. Honoring the past, embracing the new, BPO's concert Hits Every Note repeats tonight at Kleinhans. The basics. The BPO concert, Mendelssohn and Dvorak, features Brazilian guest conductor Roberto Minchuk and violinist Amarin Olmeida with Brazilian composer Elodie Boni's Ignis II, Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto in E minor, and Dvorak's Symphony No. 8 in G major at Kleinhans Music Hall, Friday, April 24th at 10:30 a.m., repeating tonight, Saturday, April 25th at 7:30 p.m., runtime approximately 2 hours, including intermission. Before Friday morning's concert, BPO President and Executive Director Dan Hart took the stage to call for a moment of silence in memory of former music director Michael Tilson Thomas, who passed away April 22nd in San Francisco from brain cancer. MTT, as he was affectionately known, served as BPO music director from 1971 to 1979, bringing fresh energy, bold programming, and a sense of adventure that helped shape the orchestra's modern identity, an identity still apparent in this weekend's program. Though he later became a towering national figure through his long tenure with the San Francisco Symphony, Buffalo remained an important chapter in his story. He leaves behind a legacy of curiosity, generosity, and a lifelong commitment to making music matter. Current music director Joanne Falletta, guest conducting in Spain this weekend, has carried that legacy forward with her own bold programming instincts. Those instincts were on full display with the concert's opening work, Ignis II, by Franco-Brazilian composer Elodie Bonti, born 1982. Ignis is Latin for fire, and the piece, composed in 2021, is a cry of alarm over the destruction of the Amazon rainforest. It opens with a recording of actual Amazon birdsong, which continues beneath the orchestra as it begins to play. It's a magical effect, and it was deftly handled by Brazilian guest conductor Roberto Minchuk, whose cool, suave entrance belied the fire he brought once he reached the podium with all the energy we've come to expect from Falletta herself. Then came the main event of the first half, Mendelssohn's beloved Violin Concerto in E minor, appearing on the BPO's schedule for the 18th time. Approachable and melodic, it's always an audience favorite, but Friday morning it was something more. Soloist Amarin Olmeida, just 18 years old, played with a warm, rich tone and stunning dexterity that brought to mind a young Hilary Hahn. Most in the hall had surely heard this concerto many times, but early in the performance you could feel the room shift, everyone sitting up a little straighter, recognizing that something special was happening. I strongly urge you to catch this talent tonight. The audience agreed, the applause was explosive, and Olmeida was called back for an encore. In honor of MTT, she chose the Largo from Bach's Sonata for Unaccompanied Violin No. 3, music that offers no hiding place. You've either got it or you don't. She has it, and she brought it. The program notes describe her as a rising star, sought after for her bold and expressive performances, and Violinist.com notes that her commanding stage presence, infallible technique, and interpretive ability already rival that of international concert stage veterans. I agree completely. Olmeida is a winner of First Prize and the Audience Choice Award at the 24th Annual Sphinx Competition, a Detroit-based nonprofit that increases Black and Latino representation in classical music through training, competitions, career development, and more. The BPO has maintained a long and fruitful partnership with the Sphinx organization, bringing young Sphinx artists to Buffalo annually. Good on you, BPO. This was a real treat. After intermission, Minchuk led Dvorak's Symphony No. 8 entirely from memory, no score on the stand. According to Folletta, conducting without a score allows for a more immediate relationship with the musicians, and it showed. Minchuk was so physically present in the music that watching him was a pleasure in itself. The symphony, with its occasional nods towards what would become the New World Symphony No. 9, including a beautiful English horn solo by the PPO's Anna Maddox, also carries strong echoes of Brahms, which makes sense. Brahms was an early champion and mentor to Dvorak. Whether you're a Dvorak devotee or a Brahms loyalist, this symphony will reward you. You can hear all of it tonight, Saturday, April 25th, 7:30 p.m., Kleinhans Music Hall, 3 Symphony Circle. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Evergreen and Cass unveil mural at 3070 Bailey Avenue. Evergreen Health and Community Access Services of Western New York, Cass, have announced that a new mural project has been unveiled at their Coming Soon healthcare facility located at the corner of Kensington and Bailey. The mural, in partnership with local artist Bree Gilliam and the Buffalo AKG Public Art Initiative, will be front and center at the new 36,000 square foot comprehensive healthcare center, which is scheduled to open this summer at 3297 Bailey Avenue. Gilliam is not only a figurative painter from Buffalo, she's also the owner and founder of Paintphoria, the city's first paint throwing studio. Her work addresses social issues that plague society, including her belief that as a young Black woman, she has the ability and duty to represent marginalized people by giving them a voice that can be heard when viewing her works. I am incredibly honored to be a part of this project with Evergreen Health and the Buffalo AKG, said Gilliam, who worked alongside community stakeholders who helped to shape the vision for the mural. My motto is Art is Power, and this mural has the power to inspire hope, joy, and a sense of connection for our community. The Comprehensive Healthcare Center will feature services from both Evergreen Health and CAS, including but not limited to, from the beginning, to primary care, pharmacy services, behavioral health services, testing and education, community mobilization, gynecological services, care coordination, financial counseling, a food distribution center, multi-use meeting rooms for community groups. We're proud to partner with the community to ensure our shared values and goals are reflected in the new healthcare center from services that will be offered to the exterior mural, said Kim Brown, Executive Director of CAS. CAS empowers Buffalo's communities of color through connections to culturally rooted healthcare resources and social services, and we're excited to launch this new brand to connect and communicate with the communities we serve more intentionally and effectively. DEC awards $199,862 to Providence Farm Collective. Providence Farm Collective, PFC, has been given a big financial boost thanks to a $199,862 Environmental Justice Community Impact Grant awarded by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. The significant grant bestowed upon the organization during Earth Week will allow PFC to continue on with its mission to provide farming resources to displaced and disenfranchised individuals who might not otherwise have access to farms and healthy food. PFC's accessible farms also allow refugee growers to plant produce that is native to their homelands. Over the years, PFC farmers have not only grown their own foods, they have also been able to sell excess crops to Western New Yorkers through farmers markets and farm stands, this offering them more financial stability. For 2 decades, DEC's environmental justice grant programs have delivered real outcomes in support of a healthier, more sustainable future for people all across New York, said DEC Commissioner Amanda Lefton, whose funding is meant to address environmental issues while promoting environmental justice across New York State. These awards, through Governor Hochul's leadership, support organizations that are working tirelessly to lift up their communities and advance environmental justice. We look forward to many more years of providing necessary resources to grantees and their partners to improve environmental outcomes across the state. At Providence Farm Collective, we believe that access to fresh food and farmland is a basic right for every community, said Kristen Helpman-Weiss, Executive Director of PFC. This grant from DEC will allow us to further empower under-resourced farmers, fuel our region's food economy, and continue creating just, community-rooted solutions to promote increased food security. We are deeply grateful for DEC's commitment to fostering a healthier, more equitable future for all New Yorkers. Half and Half Boutique celebrates 10 years of investment into the Elmwood Village. Since purchasing Half and Half clothing from its original owners, Debbie and Bill Seidel, in 2016, the Bronstein family has managed to keep a beloved shopping tradition alive and thriving in Buffalo. In a day and age when online shopping continues to surge and consumers are shifting from wants to needs, focusing more on necessities due to high inflation fatigue, brick-and-mortar retail shops have got to be at the top of their game in order to succeed. Over the course of the last decade, the Bronsteins have not only invested in Half and Half Boutique, they have also invested in the neighborhood. Those investments include restoration of the building, the purchase and restoration of a neighboring building, now home to Typico Cafe, the creation of a mural by street artist Chris Piankowski, the addition of a sculpture bust by David Derner, and the restoration of the Phases of the Moon neon public work of art, which was dormant for years. These types of crucial financial infusions into the Elmwood Village by an independent retailer are very rare. To celebrate a 10-year milestone is also a significant achievement. To do it all with the utmost class and grace says everything that you need to know about the Bronsteins and their business ethics. Celebrating 10 years of Half and Half Boutique in Buffalo is incredibly meaningful to me, not just as a business milestone, but as a reflection of the community that has supported us from the very beginning, said co-owner and matriarch of the family, Jennifer Bronstein, who owns the shop with her daughter, Kilby. Opening our first store in Elmwood Village, my hometown, was always something deeply personal, and to see it grow into what it is today has been truly special. Being a small business in Buffalo means so much more than just retail. It's about connection, collaboration, and community. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to partner with so many amazing local businesses and charitable organizations, creating experiences that go far beyond shopping. That sense of support and shared energy is what makes Buffalo so unique. This city has given us the foundation to grow, evolve, and expand in ways I could never have imagined. And through it all, our goal has always been to make Half and Half more than just a store, to create a beautiful, welcoming space that people feel inspired walking into. We're so grateful to Elmwood Village and the entire Buffalo community for being such an important part of our journey. Forest Lawn earns status of Level 2 Arboretum. Today, Friday, April 24th, Forest Lawn Cemetery is announcing its new advanced level of accreditation as a Level 2 Arboretum, as designated by ArbNet, an international network of tree-focused professionals. During the cemetery's third annual State of the Arboretum, the announcement was made, adding that Forest Lawn has now joined the Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens at the esteemed Level 2 ranking. It is interesting to note that there are 4 levels of accreditation. At the ceremony proceedings, Forest Lawn accepted the National Conservation Medal from the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution an international nonprofit women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing better education. The NS Star Conservation Medal is given annually to organizations with distinguished records in environmental conservation and public education. Anyone that has not paid a visit to Forest Lawn, especially at this time of year, is encouraged to do so. It is a magical place where the cherry trees are now in full bloom. In recent years, there have been numerous undertakings to revitalize the grounds of the cemetery, especially its vast collection of trees. The investment into the tree canopy is a result of years of aging, as well as combating the effects of ruinous events such as being plagued with Dutch elm disease early on and the affliction of the October surprise storm of 2006 more recently. To learn more about the Arboretum at Forest Lawn and to view the tree tracker map, check online. You've been listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising. We read from Buffalo Rising on Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Your reader has been Patty Young. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service with broadcast studios at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. Radio readings are broadcast 24 hours a day, every day, to area people who are blind or have a print disability. This year, our agency marks almost 40 years on the air with more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service website is nfradioreading.org. For more information, call 716-821-5555. Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. As always, please feel free to contact us with your comments, suggestions, or with any questions you may have. Our phone number here is area code 716-821-5555. Our agency website is nfradioreading.org. And as always, please stay with us. Reading the Buffalo News is coming up in just a moment.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or another